One.
Welcome to the Standard.
Standard is the standard.
Your host, Jake Manson.
Steve Hare.
Co-host, Steve Hare. Today, we're going to break down the 2021 NFL season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, our thoughts, feelings, and how we grade a bunch of players throughout the entire season.
Believe me, we have a lot to say.
I've never been more frustrated with Steelers season in my life besides the Duck Hodges season, so we got a lot to go through.
Yep.
And by the time I'm probably going to have an aneurysm. But here we go.
It's a weekly thing. That's
Yeah.
why we're doing this on Sundays. It's tradition.
It is a tradition every Sunday we record these podcasts. Go check out our TikToks and socials on the Standard Talk.
Yep.
And let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Week 1, Buffalo Bills.
So, a little background for you new followers to us here.
They're all new followers, but continue.
It's all right. We are from Buffalo, New York, sadly. Been watching Steeler games together since 2010, and gonna keep chugging along here.
It's really been that long, geez.
Yeah, 4th grade.
Nice.
Yep. So, fun fact, this was our first ever regular season game, watching the Steelers.
Had to be in Buffalo.
Had to be in Buffalo. But we were excited to finally go. We were supposed to go last year, but due to COVID, didn't happen. So,
I lost a lot of money.
yeah, unfortunately.
Thank you, Buffalo.
Week 1, we are at what's Highmark Field now.
Highmark Stadium.
Because they got to keep changing their name.
Well, it can't be New Era.
Yeah.
Because why would they keep it New Era?
Why would they do that?
Anyways, offense stunk.
The offense.
Offensive line stinks.
It was a bit of a preview to what would come the rest.
So Kendrick Green get bullied on the line. Did not win the line of scrimmage once. I think Ed Oliver actually just threw him down at one point, but
Probably.
he was bad. The whole offensive line was bad. I think Trey Turner was probably the bright spot, and he was sucked too.
Najee Harris, obviously we had hoped for a bit of a better debut. Not entirely his fault, obviously.
I mean, he had 45 rushing yards. He probably had around 40 receiving yards. I mean, it's not the worst premiere for a rookie. He didn't have a touchdown.
I remember, I think it was once or twice. I think it was twice. They were down in the red zone by where we were sitting, and he dropped
Oh my
that
God!
one pass
Him and
wide open.
someone else dropped the pass too, or it was a bad throw by Ben.
The one was kind of over.
Juju dropped it.
Was it Juju?
Yeah, Juju dropped the ball.
Oh.
We were right there. We see Juju catch it, gone. I think Fryermuth he didn't have a drop. It was a bad throw.
Yeah, a couple walk-in touchdowns there that we could have had, but
Could have easily won that game by more.
that Deontay Johnson back corner of the end zone saves the day.
I mean, it's just so unfortunate that it didn't happen on our side, happen on the other side, so we could barely see what happened. But
The Johnson touchdown.
both touchdowns we
No,
had.
the Johnson touchdown was right in front of
No, it wasn't. It was on the other side of the field.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, how much do you want to bet me?
I will bet
It was
you-
on the other side of the field because the punt return, the block punt was also on the other side of the field.
That was on the other side.
I'm telling you, we did not see that because we would have flipped out.
I vividly remember it.
Really? Because you have a horrible memory. Because it wasn't there. I will put money on this.
I'll find the clip. I'll show you in a second.
Find the clip because we were on the other goddamn side.
No, happened right in that corner.
We were on the other goddamn side of the field.
Don't they switch which way they're going at the end of each quarter?
It was still the fourth quarter. We scored in the fourth quarter.
the punt, the punt.
Both were in the fourth quarter.
Were they both fourth?
Yes. How much you want to bet me? I'll put so much money on it.
I'm almost positive.
I'm telling you, you're wrong.
That happened right in front of us.
You know why? Because the Steelers stunk in the first half. The defense was still good, though.
We'll get to the defense in a minute.
Defense gives me heart attacks. Actually, not really. The offense was...
More so the offense. Yes.
I mean, did Ben give the Steelers a chance to win that game? Not really. He only had 188 passing yards.
Okay. I guess.
Passing touchdown.
I guess it was.
Oh, look at that. I was right.
I was wrong.
Yeah, you're always wrong.
I say always.
Always.
Anyways, so
Somehow won that game.
somehow won that game. The defense that game, specifically the pass rush, was.
That's when we had Tyson still.
We had Tyson before he got hurt. Melvin Ingram actually
Bull
seemed like he
rushing
was
people.
happy to play there. TJ
Well, that's when
Watt.
they actually played him.
Should
have kept him.
the first couple drives, they just missed so many holding calls, and they were still getting to Josh.
Even like Bills fans were just going, "Whoa."
They're like, yeah.
I mean, we were surrounded by Steelers fans, but
Yes. Of course, gotta sit behind the Steelers sideline. Can't sit over there
I'm not gonna sit with a bunch of Bills fans.
with the mafia.
It's not even a mafia. The others, I mean, that was the quietest I've ever seen that stadium for a long time. They weren't even loud. It was week 1 and they weren't even loud.
Embarrassing performance by the
My
Bills
ears
fans.
are piercing after. It's not a loud stadium.
No. The two of us in this basement are usually louder than
Oh my god. That's
that
not
entire
impressive.
stadium.
Oh, sometimes, man.
I think TJ had two and a half sacks.
He
that
strip
game.
fumble, maybe 2 sacks.
He did the strip sack.
That was a beautiful play.
Yeah.
Cam had a game.
Cam had a good game.
I mean, he just stopped the run, basically. Him and Tyson.
I will say the most stressful part of that game, the opening kickoff. He ran that back like 75 yards.
It was the first play of the game.
I'm like, oh, that's
Here comes the NFL season. Bang!
Yep, right in your face.
60-yard return. Somehow hold them to a field goal. We're underway. I mean, I think it was a bad sign. If you saw like the Payne
first.
Eli Manning casting,
Yep.
where like, let's break down the Raiders season on this first play.
Yep.
They're gonna get 6 wins. That's how I thought watching this year. They're gonna get 5 wins after that starting play.
Jesus.
But they somehow just flipped the switch.
So we were able to beat the Bills week 1. It was a good start to the season.
Ah.
Very personal game. So good
It was a
win.
great start, and then we go to the next 3 games
So-
where it's just bang, bang, bang. You guys suck.
Week 2, Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
Home opener.
Ow. Just a fat owl.
Henry Ruggs, before he got getting arrested for DUIs,
I mean, that was
scored
probably the worst coverage I've ever seen Minka play.
65-yard touchdowns on us. That wasn't fun.
Sven didn't play good, didn't play bad.
Didn't play bad. Najee did have a stiff arm that game.
Yeah, with his 38 rushing yards.
Yeah, whopping 38 rushing yards.
Somehow, we did get a 100-yard receiver in there with Deontay. Ben almost threw for 300 yards. It wasn't the worst game he played, but statistically, it was a bad game.
What was the final score of that one?
26-17.
That's closer than I remember it being.
Really?
It felt like it wasn't that close watching it.
No, it really wasn't. It was closer than you might have thought, but.
I think Muth had his first touchdown that game.
Oh, yeah.
Was that game?
Yeah. That was, I mean,
It's a bright spot, I guess.
he's going to be a top 5 tight end in the next couple of years.
He's got a lot of potential.
He needs to get a little bit bigger. He's not as big as any other tight end in the NFL. He's a little smaller of a guy.
He's kind of tall. Yeah.
Really? He still has, like, it's okay to be a skinny tight end, but you have to be taller. You have to be like Travis Kelce size to be a skinnier tight end. He's a skinnier tight end in the league.
He's got to put on some muscle.
I think PFF had him as the highest graded pass blocking tight end in the NFL, so that's something.
PFF is
I mean, they have a bias against the Steelers, obviously.
they're questionable.
Questionable.
Bit questionable.
But defense played lackadaisical, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Definitely nowhere near week 1.
No, I mean,
Big
they stopped
drop-off.
one of the highest powered offense, and then they couldn't stop Derek Carr.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, they let Derek Carr run around on him.
Granted, Derek Carr has kind of cracked those first couple weeks of the season.
Yeah, but he was still good at the end.
I mean, Raiders were a solid team this year, and we're not going to bash the Raiders, because we'll get to that later. They kind of
I mean, they're the only. I mean, no game should end in a tie.
they gave us a good moment, but
But
that's
we'll carry on to that. I have
Yeah.
thoughts about that.
big time.
Uh,
Week 3 was Bengals, I believe.
I hate the Bengals.
Bengals.
I hate the goddamn
Quick
Bengals.
side note: I'd like to personally congratulate them on losing in the Super Bowl. First time they've done anything in 30 years, and they were this close.
Oh, they were close.
How are they going to do it?
But when you have Eli Apple,
Eli
you're not
Apple,
going to win games.
burnt toast he is.
There's honestly not much to say about this Week 3 game. It's very how do you ever say the word? Not very memorable. Somehow Ben threw for 300 yards with only scoring 10 points.
So,
Najee still can't get the ball going because the offensive line still stinks.
Jamar
but-
Chase.
No, but Najee Harris did have 100 receiving yards that game.
Oh, that was it. Was it the game he had like 14 catches or?
Oh, because the flats were the only thing that were open that game.
But that was that game.
Yeah, because the receivers can't get open.
Yeah.
And that's the game that I think this is the game that Juju got hurt.
No, that was Denver. That was Denver. We'll get to that.
I don't know how you try to truck somebody dislocate your
That's
shoulder.
yeah. Jamar Chase burned us that game, kind of a lot. well, it's personal with the Bengals, but
He's a good receiver.
I can't deny that they're a good team now.
Wow. Give him 2 more years, they're not going to be good.
2 more years.
Like teams like the Bengals are only good for 3 years. They might get a Super Bowl appearance. They might make the playoffs a couple times. But
I will.
when you pay Joe Burrow is not good. Actually, no, he's good, but he's not great.
He's not as good as people make him out to be.
He's
Kind of overhyped.
He's cocky. He's not that great.
No.
He has a weapon. A lot of his yards are coming yards up the catch.
He has a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
He's a lot of weapons.
If you look at Tyler Boyd, you look at T. Higgins, you look at Jamar Chase, it's mostly yards after catch that makes him have higher stats. They're more inflated. He shouldn't be winning the amount of games he does, and the defense is still good.
The defense is solid. They have Joe Mixon too. Like it's a good. He's got a lot of weapons, but people are giving him too much credit.
When they get better, like they're going to take offensive linemen early in the draft this year.
They have to.
Then they'll have to pay those offensive linemen, pay Joe Burrow. They're not going to have all the weapons around him.
Yep.
And when you pay a bunch of offensive guys, guess what happens to your defense? It crumbles, just like it happened to the 2017 Steelers.
Yes. But anyways, that was not a fun game. And moving on to next week, I believe that was Green Bay.
Yeah, it's like the second time Ben Roethlisberger and Aaron Rodgers ever played
So,
against each other.
First
Third time because they played.
09.
Yeah.
First Big Ben Rodgers game since that Super Bowl that we will not talk about.
I mean, I'll talk about it.
No, we're not going to talk
I
about
will
it.
be happy talking about it.
Maybe another day. Anyways, Joe Hayden was not offsides in that game for
Run defense stunk.
run defense stunk.
I think the run defense stunk right after Tyson Alualu decided to die.
Out for the year.
Yeah.
That happens every year, so when it's just early in the year.
I think that's when we realized Devin Bush was never going to recover from that ACL injury.
No. Devin Bush.
Joe Schobert wasn't on the team yet. Was he?
When?
Schobert. Was he on the team yet?
He was on the team the whole year.
When did they trade for him?
In the offseason.
Really?
It was like August.
No.
Yes.
No. I refuse to admit.
This one I know I'm right about.
I feel like we got him in the
He was
middle.
there week 1. Do you not remember we couldn't tell the difference between him and TJ?
Oh, yeah. Because the only 2 white guys on the
They're
team.
the only 2 guys, not 90 numbers. In the
Oh, yeah. It was August 14th.
Yeah.
They bolstered their defense. Yeah. He
So-
really bolstered that defense into a
So
really
we-
crappy run defense.
So we thought, yeah.
I mean, it's not like anybody else, like Bob Spokane, could do anything.
Yeah, he's better than anyone else we have, I guess.
He's the best. He's the
That's
best pass.
concerning.
He's the best pass defender, I guess.
I do remember Deontay did have first drive touchdown.
Yeah,
That game?
we watched that on a phone.
Yeah, we were experiencing major technical difficulties.
No, we weren't. They were showing the overtime Jets game.
Oh,
They were showing an overtime game.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, so we got stuck watching the first.
Jets and Titans.
Watching the first couple minutes of that game on the phone.
What a dumb.
That was
NFL's so dumb.
put it on a different channel.
But three losses later, offense stunk that game. There's nothing memorable about that game except that the offensive line still stunk.
Yeah, that's a theme throughout the whole year.
No, they had a couple good games, but we'll get to that. Like the Broncos game, they did better.
Yeah, we'll get to the Broncos.
They let Najee get 122 yards.
Najee had a great game.
Claypool, we figured that Claypool just owns the Broncos and the Broncos only. He had 130 yards and a touchdown.
He had the big catch down the sideline again. I don't think that was a touchdown.
No, the touchdown was in the middle of the field where he jumped over a guy and caught it.
Yeah.
And somehow actually caught the ball.
Yeah.
That's another thing that he doesn't stay on his feet.
This was also the game that Juju got
Died.
hurt. I love the guy, but it is.
Oh, he
this
wants to be a
game,
Dallas Cowboys. Let him go.
Yeah.
I'm done with him.
I will
Screw
never
him.
understand
Screw
why
him.
a guy's going low to tackle you. You get that low to try and bump with your shoulder.
Because he thinks he's Hines Ward.
Nobody's Hines Ward. Cost himself the rest of the regular season just out of sheer stupidity.
He's just.
I'm
done with Juju. The Juju experiment's done. Ben's gone. Juju's gone. He wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. Let him be a Dallas Cowboy. If if he doesn't respect the tradition of the Pittsburgh Steelers by like, oh, they have wooden lockers, get over your life, go play football, or get the hell out.
Go do your dances
I just,
somewhere else.
even Chase Claypool stopped doing dances, but he still sucks.
Well, yeah, there's something else he did. First,
We got it! Thanks to Roosevelt next play.
but the Broncos game, we're playing well, and then obviously they
You let the team come back in and let
You know-
Teddy B almost throw a touchdown.
let him come back. James Pierre saves the day, interception in the end
He
zone.
didn't really save the day because he let up 2 of the touchdowns to start the day.
It's true, but he redeemed
It's
himself.
like Eli Apple.
The win,
We have an Eli Apple.
the win was the win there. So we're sitting at 2-3.
Going to Sunday night.
Sunday night versus Seattle. Geno Smith. And Alex Collins too. This is. I think maybe this was the first really big game that the run defense.
No, Alex Collins just owns the Steelers. He's always owned
Well,
the Steelers.
Yeah,
He's played against them 5 times. In each game, he gets over 100 rushing yards. Who knows why?
I don't.
It's Alex Collins.
I don't
It's
know
like
why.
it's like Ray Rice. He's like this little version of Ray Rice. Actually, well,
Bigger.
same thing. Like
Yeah.
Ray Rice only got 100 yards against the Steelers for some reason. He wasn't that good of a running back anywhere else except in Pittsburgh.
It's a Baltimore thing.
It has to be. It's just a Harbaugh. I hate Harbaugh.
So
Defense was this game.
defense.
Well, no. Steelers were up 14-0 going to half.
Yep.
Could have easily just kept grinding away the stick and running the ball
Yep.
and getting the ball in the end zone, but the offensive line decides to deteriorate,
Mhm.
not want to block anymore, let Ben get sacked 3 times,
Yep.
let the Seahawks come back,
And against the Seahawks too. That's not good because their defense is terrible.
and then you let Geno Smith didn't even play good.
Now,
Alex Collins played
Alex
good.
Collins played very well.
And this is I think that's what there was 3 times in the season where the running back outrushed the quarterback in games against the Steelers.
For the opposing team.
Yeah. Yeah. Cleveland, I'm pretty sure it was the Cleveland 15-10 game.
Okay.
It was the Detroit Lions game and this Seahawks game.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But that game ends up going into overtime.
TJ Watt saves the day.
TJ Watt does save the day. Devin Bush recovered the fumble.
Probably one of the only things.
One of the few things he did right this year.
Wild card interception.
That's true.
He caught the
But
ball.
it was those two making the play again.
What, TJ? Oh, yeah, TJ
Shifted
Devin.
and Devin Bush caught.
Well, maybe with Brian Flores. Devin Bush might actually become a good linebacker with Brian Flores. Let's God hope so.
Tap into his potential.
Let's hope Minka doesn't leave because of Brian Flores, though.
Yeah, this former coach.
They hate each other.
I know. But they're not in Miami anymore, so.
Oh, yeah.
It's Mike Tomlin. The standard is the standard. Mike Tomlin culture.
I mean, his resume speaks for himself.
Exactly.
And then we get a nice mental health break. We get a nice mental health a week away from the
A
Steelers.
week off does wonders.
Just to go right back in. Week 8 against the Browns. Just to give you a little bit more anxiety.
So this was Halloween, right?
Yeah, it was.
First game against the Browns since their biggest win ever in a wild card game.
Just in the Super Bowl era, basically.
Yes, that's their most proud accomplishment is they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers one time
In
a
Pittsburgh
playoff
without
game.
fans.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Mhm.
Game's it's a pretty ugly game, but it's AFC North football, so it's a beautiful
It's the
beautiful
hood.
thing.
It's the hood of the NFL.
Exactly.
No, but here's the thing. The offense played fine,
They did better than usual.
but they just couldn't
They
score.
couldn't get it in the end zone.
Either turn the ball over,
Yep.
they let Boswell die.
End of the first half,
I mean, Boswell just dead.
we faked a field goal. Chris Boswell rolling out. Granted, I think it was a dirty hit. I don't.
It was roughing the pass.
I
They
don't-
didn't call it.
Yeah, they didn't call it.
Gene Steratore came on. Oh yeah, that's roughing the passer. I mean, can't really let that go.
I got pretty pissed off over that one. But Boz got drilled.
If we didn't win that game, I'd probably be more pissed off.
But Joe Schobert.
So far, that's ever seen Ben throw the ball to end the game. Yes, we won! Woo!
Ben was happy about that one.
Nice. You won a game with Bolton, Cleveland, same thing.
Yeah. They're the same
It's
team,
the same
technically. Yeah.
It's the same city.
I think Pat had his sick touchdown catch in.
Yeah, he caught the ball over a guy.
Yeah. That was.
Oh no, he caught the ball in the back of the end zone.
Yeah,
With a bobbling.
bobbling it.
Yeah.
Sweet catch.
That was a good catch.
Joe Schobert covered a fumble that game. Browns were getting close to scoring.
I don't even remember that.
I remember that. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was fourth quarter. Late in the game. Don't remember who punched or if anyone punched it out.
It's probably TJ.
He might have just probably.
No, Joe punched it out.
Did he punch it out
I
and
think
recover it?
so. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Schobert made a big play there.
I mean, offense played fine.
Good to
Deontay
see.
got 98 yards. Najee got 91 yards.
Yeah, I mean,
Bang got 266, which is pretty good for them right now.
15-10 final score, but they were
Could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the theme of the Steelers. It could have been a lot better, but somehow still win.
we did fail two 2-point attempts that game after both of touchdowns.
Well, you wonder why. But
Right, so-
now we're starting into like the really nitty gritty of this schedule, where the Steelers basically they either had really close games, or they just got blown out completely. And
Well,
then,
we're getting blown out in.
oh yeah, well we didn't have a blowout win this year.
No.
The highest win, our highest win this year was 8 points.
According to our calculations.
Oh no, sorry, we had a 12-point win against the Browns.
I don't know if that's a big blowout though, but
That's 12 points.
we're due for a couple blowout wins next year because we didn't have one this year. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
That's the
with,
theory.
with what quarterback?
Doesn't matter. Defense will carry us.
The defense looks so promising next year just to have a quarterback. Like, my thinking is right now, if you don't get Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, or Deshaun Watson, there's no point in getting a quarterback. You let Mason just... No, you know what? No.
Well,
you let Dwayne Haskins play.
That's a bit too far.
You let Dwayne Haskins play. Oh,
No.
you know what? You signed Mitch... No.
No,
I don't know who you do at this point.
it's a mess.
It's either you get Jameis or Deshaun. Jameis can show that he can win you games. He was 14 for 30, touchdown interception ratio. He won the games for the Saints. He blew out the Packers.
That's true. We
But
won.
But regular season Saints seem to always blow out the Buccaneers or the Packers.
Yeah. They managed to beat him somehow. Trevor Simeon, I think. Was he the quarterback
Trevor
when they
Simeon
beat
never
the
won a
Bucks?
game.
Oh, did he not? Who was their quarterback when they beat the Bucks?
Wasn't it Ian Book?
Was it Ian
I
Book?
think so.
Okay.
No, it was Taysom Hill. What am I talking about? It was Taysom.
Did they beat him once? They beat him both times this year, right?
They only beat him once.
I thought they beat him.
Did Jameis beat them then?
I know they beat him in.
I know
Tampa.
Taysom beat him.
In Tampa, I know they beat
I
him.
don't think they won twice.
See if they won.
Actually, no, you're probably right. They didn't win twice because all those NFL games are going 0 for 5 or whatever. Tom
Yeah.
Brady against regular season 6.
Yeah,
You're probably
yeah.
right.
So we'll see. But anyways, that's
Tom Brady really killed his winning percentage against the Saints with going the Buccaneers.
did. That's a real shame. Anyway, that's
Darn.
it's kind of off topic.
Not really.
But
Anything's on topic at this point.
week after that, we got Chicago Monday night, I believe.
I mean, Ray Ray McLeod almost fumbled the game away.
We did not see. You know, unfortunately, this year the television had a lot of
No,
difficulties.
it's your internet.
Internet television. Same
You know when we
thing.
never had this problem? My house.
I know. You don't have that house anymore.
Yeah, I
we're,
know.
We're stuck here. So we missed Rayer McLeod just drop a punt,
I'm glad.
which I'm glad we did
I'm
because
so glad we did. Because all we see is a kick. We just see the
We-
Bears kicker going
we
out
just
there.
see him kicking an extra point. I'm like, what the hell happened?
I think that game really highlighted the taunting rule. Because
Oh, the
TJ got a taunt in that game.
Yep.
So did Cassius Marsh.
former Steeler, crazy
TJ,
man.
TJ didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And he got flagged. I see, like, as a Steelers fan, I have to be grateful that they got the flag
Right.
thrown for Cassius Marsh.
Of course.
I can see the rule and why they threw the flag. Like, I can vividly see he walked over to the Steelers, he was staring them down.
Yeah.
By rule, that is taunting.
Yeah.
But it's not really taunting. The
Well-
taunting rule needs to go. They need to change the NFL overtime.
The NFL saw.
You should never end in a tie.
No.
Both teams actually, well, maybe both teams shouldn't possess the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the Bills.
I don't like Bills fans.
Also, the Ravens always seem to screw up overtime games against the Steelers.
Yes. There's not very many of them.
Oh, there's been an amount. There's been a good amount. Steelers really don't win overtime games.
Not recently.
I can't remember the last time the Steelers actually won an overtime game besides Seattle.
Uh,
Usually it's like a tie, or a loss.
last week of the season, Baltimore. That was an overtime game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
I tried to forget that game too.
Oh, we'll get to that one because
We didn't get to see the overtime because the TV kept screwing up.
we got to see the important parts.
Yeah, we gotta see the kick. We
Yeah.
saw the kick.
Yeah.
It's all we saw.
And the catch.
No, we saw the catch on your phone.
Rary's catch
Yeah.
on 4th and 8.
No, we saw it on ESPN Gamecast.
Yeah.
We saw them going for it on 4th and 8. We're game's over.
Yeah.
Season's done. And
And we got him.
all we see is all it says is Ray McLeod 10-yard catch. We're like, oh, could have been a great play.
Yeah.
No, horrible throw.
No,
Great catch. But this is
from it.
we're really going off here. We'll go past the Bears game. It was same thing.
Just
The Bears.
ugly win. Not you would expect nothing less. Now,
Now we get to Mason Rudolph.
so the thing we're doing for this episode is part of this schedule review. We're picking our most frustrating game of the year for each, and this game happens to be your most frustrating game.
Anytime you see Mason Rudolph go on the field, walk on the field, strut his stupid ass on the field, that's what you see is Mason Rudolph. He's the dumbest person alive. First drive though was really well orchestrated.
First drive.
You didn't watch it.
I did watch it actually. I was sitting in the parking lot. James Washington touchdown, quarter of the end zone. I was like,
Oklahoma State.
This is a great Oklahoma State connection. Great start.
Are the Steelers going to be the unwinnable? However you say it.
Winless.
Yeah, the winless. Thank you. The winless Lions.
Yeah.
No,
No.
it won't.
Yeah.
It's Mason Rudolph, second drive. The dunce. He is a dunce. He is a Class A dunce.
Give him the hat that says dunce on it.
Oh my God, he's a stooge. He's a Class A stooge. I mean, watching him play makes me want to gouge my eyes out with a rusty spoon.
I'd rather do a lot of things. I'd watch paint dry. Anything.
I
really.
would rather watch Duck play football. Also,
Me too.
Duck Hodges might be the next Steeler.
Duck
Next
Hodges.
next Steeler quarterback to go play for the Pittsburgh Maulers.
It's true.
He might be drafted by the Pittsburgh Maulers.
USFL.
I'm excited. Pittsburgh has a team. I have something to root for.
He's been playing in the CFL.
He's a third string quarterback in the CFL.
So,
According to Mark Madden, at least.
wow. Mark Madden is just
Oh,
a
God.
fat drunk.
Did I
So,
ever show you the picture of Mark Madden on South Park?
probably.
Did I? Well, there's this one.
Yeah, looks like
That's
him.
Mark Madden, yeah.
Looks like him. Mark Madden,
Stooge.
yeah, he's a stooge too. He can join that club.
No, did you hear that he has an IQ of 145 though?
Really?
Yeah.
According to who?
According to the Pat McAfee show.
Oh. Don't buy it.
Juju bees. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I saw Mason Rudolph just too much that game. I think you saw what Mason Rudolph can do.
not much.
No, but like, granted, turnovers didn't help him.
No. It was,
Jared Goff only threw for 52 yards.
but they ran for over 200.
Shut up. I know, I watched. They didn't do well in the first half. Mason Rudolph had a really good chance just to secure the W, keep scoring. Usually, if your defense holds a team to 16 points, you win the game, right? No, not with Mason Rudolph. You need at least to hold them under 12.
And that was one of the games TJ got hurt. Right?
He's always hurt.
Gets hurt, misses a week or two, then he's back.
You know who doesn't get hurt? Cam.
Cam never gets hurt. That's why they call him Iron
Except
Man.
when he punches people in the stomach. Bang!
In the ground.
Stay there. But I digress. You know what? Why did Ben's kids have to give him COVID?
There's a lot to complain about that game, and
I mean, we found out I was at Dave and Buster's, and then you text me saying we're screwed. And I go, what are we screwed about? And our next notification is Ben Roethlisberger on COVID list. And I'm like, I don't even know what to say anymore.
it's the saddest thing that you have to worry about. That you're going to, even with a backup quarterback, you know that you are not going to beat the worst team in the
But
NFL.
here's the thing. I already had a bad feeling about that game because Steelers usually
Well, it's a
play.
trap game.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's the classic trap game.
Yeah.
But
It is
now,
a classic
now it's
trap
even
game.
worse that Mason Rudolph is in.
It actually probably made it better because us tying that game is a better excuse that we had Mason Rudolph playing quarterback than Ben Roethlisberger.
That's a good point.
But if Ben Roethlisberger
But-
plays that game, we have 30 points.
Should.
Because Ray McCloud almost had his first touchdown that
Yep.
game. NFL touchdown.
Yep.
But Mason Rudolph decided that he's going to throw a 5-yard curl route in the dirt instead of throwing it to Ray McCloud's chest. So that hurt me mentally and physically.
Overtime was.
I think watching that game with my father was even worse. Because especially with my brother being home too, my house was just annoying.
Bill.
I had my dogs barking.
Mhm.
I had my dad on ESPN watching the game, so he knew what was happening 2 plays before I knew what was happening on the television. So when the Lions kicker missed the field goal, he goes, "Yeah!" I'm like, "What just happened?"
Shut up, Bill. Shut up.
I mean, it's just watching the game with my father is just the most clustered. It's just the most clustered series of events in one
I
game.
think it's.
Because I'll scream and he'll go and tell me to shut up. But then he'll scream and it's just the whole world.
It's okay.
It's totally fine.
It's acceptable.
Granted, I'm a loud person, but that's okay.
Yeah.
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 What else do you have to say about that game?
Uh,
Joe Sherbert and Devin Bush should die.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Just get rid of them.
You let you let the 4th-string running back get going. They let the 4th-string running back get going on that game.
It was.
I don't even know.
How many yards does Swift have alone?
Like 100 something. I had him in fantasy.
Since as a team, they
I mean, for me as a fantasy owner, it's a great day.
well,
I won that week.
I had T.J. Hawkinson. He scored 0 points.
Well, you know why? Because Jared Goff can't throw a football.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
Jared Goff was also like really hurt that game too. He was
he
really
was
hurt.
playing hurt. Yeah.
He was really hurt.
Did he get hurt in that game?
He couldn't lift his arm above the shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, Ben played hurt the entire season basically.
Ben plays hurt every year.
And then he zoomed in on his ass more than any other quarterback in the NFL because of his hip injury.
Yeah.
Couldn't even tie his shoes, poor guy.
So
But,
he's a feeble old man.
Surprisingly, guess how many passing yards Mason Rudolph had that game?
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
over 200.
Yeah.
248.
No, you're close. It's 242. But that's actually not so surprising since 68 of his yards came in overtime.
And don't even get me started on overtime.
I mean,
Let's see, Kendrick Green looking like more keeps Pouncey out there. Just
Overstaffed Mason Rudolph, but they missed the field goal, so it's fine.
then Deontay Johnson fumbled, but they punted.
that's what I got. That's what I was forgetting.
And then end of the game, they had
Pat Fryermuth.
At the end of the game, they had a chance to win a field goal on Pat Fryermuth. All Pat Fryermuth had to do was get out of bounds. Granted, they still had a timeout, so it was fine.
Yeah.
But all they had to do was just get out of bounds, and Fryermuth decides to fumble.
Yeah.
Love the guy, but he had 2 big mistakes this year, basically.
Yeah.
The fumble was bad, but then the Vikings, I wouldn't call it a drop, but it was definitely a
It
catchable
was
ball.
catchable ball.
I mean, it was a perfectly placed ball by Ben.
A good-
Easily
good
catchable.
throw.
It was a great play by Harrison Smith, but again, you can easily make that catch and get it into
You
your
get
body.
your hands on it, like
But they didn't. Obviously, it wasn't called a drop.
Yeah.
It wasn't called a drop. It was called a pass defended. It was a good play. But I mean, kind of leads us into the 2 most frustrating games of the season.
So-
Actually, well, this goes into this was the next 4 games are we go 1-3.
this is the ugly stretch.
It was a really ugly stretch, but they did have one good win.
So okay, so week after the Lions game, this was my most frustrating game.
Ben
since-
didn't practice, but
Yeah.
obviously didn't show. Shows that he doesn't need to practice half the time.
So
Yeah, that's your most frustrating game.
so
Break it
start
down.
this was our only game this year where we scored over 30, almost 40,
Yeah, we only
Yeah,
have
it
3
was-
points away from 40.
41-37.
Thanks, Trey Norwood.
And OPI. OPI just doesn't exist.
Apparently not. Yeah, let's run a goal line fade in the end zone with Chase Claypool. You'd think he would make the play, right?
No.
Right?
You have
Right.
you have a power running back. It's like the Seahawks decided to run the ball, not running the ball on the goal line. And then you can make that argument, what everyone expects them to run. Like, no, you run the ball.
Yeah, you run the ball.
But, when you have Matt Canada calling plays, anything's possible, I guess.
He's a real wild card, that guy.
He had a good moment this year where he fist bumped whoever that guy was next to him.
Yes!
Bang.
No, he had no reaction. It was just a little fist bump. I don't remember what the play was. I think it was just a first down. It probably was.
Wasn't that important.
It probably was a touchdown, but
So,
That can look exciting though.
scored the first points of this game. Chris Boswell, field goal.
Wow.
Then
Wow. Nice.
Eckler had 2 touchdowns in a row.
Hey, you
I will say it was a great week for me in fantasy because I had Herbert and Eckler.
Herbert decided to become Lamar Jackson.
Kind of hurt to watch.
Kind of.
Deontay scores touchdown, end of the half, then they score another field goal though. So 17-10 going into halftime.
Oh god.
They score 10 straight. It's 27-10.
Nice.
Eckler his 3rd touchdown, by the way.
Yeah, and then the Chargers scored. Then the Steelers scored a touchdown. Then
So we had a field goal and a
Oh, we had
touchdown.
a field goal.
This is in the 4th quarter.
No, we had a field goal. They had the block punt for a touchdown, right? Because it was 27-20. We had that block punt.
Yeah, that wasn't a touchdown.
No, we got the ball on the 4-yard line.
Yes.
Because Steelers special teams don't have hands.
Miles Killebrew.
Miles Killebrew
Yeah.
is a really good player, but guess what? He needs to learn how to pick up the ball and run into the end zone.
Yeah.
Because that 4-yard drive gave you more stress than any other drive that game.
I know.
3rd and goal, they
It's
got
like
the touchdown.
we're this close.
It's kind of like the Troy Polamalu when he stripped Joe Flacco.
Mhm.
And he got the ball on the 10. Steelers can't screw this up, right? Oh, they need a 3rd and goal on the 9.
Yeah.
And they need whatever his name was. It wasn't Toussaint. It was, whatever that guy, that running back.
Redmond.
Yeah, they needed Isaac Redmond to get 9 yards for a touchdown that playoff game.
Yeah.
God, that offense.
Yeah, what was pissing me off about this game is like they score like 2 touchdowns and then we go down and we get one back and like a field goal. But so
4th quarter comeback for the story of the year.
we had 27 points in the 4th quarter,
Nice.
which is cool.
It's the most in Steelers history. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it was.
Eric Ebron had a touchdown.
Oh, he had that rushing touchdown.
Yep.
Nice.
Friars
Nice.
had the touchdown to tie it.
The game was tied.
3.5 minutes left.
Actually, we were winning at one point.
3.5 minutes left. Chris Boswell kicks a field goal. It's 37-34.
Nothing can go wrong,
Nothing
right?
can go wrong.
Trade
Nothing
off.
can go wrong.
No, Minka Fitzpatrick's on the COVID list to a fake disease.
Oh, yeah, Minka and TJ.
Minka, TJ, and Joe Hayden all had
Hayden
COVID.
were all out that game.
Yeah.
So, to be fair,
To a disease that doesn't cause you it. To an NFL player, no one's gonna get hospitalized. No one's gonna die. Let the boys play.
let him play.
COVID just needs to go away. There should be no COVID list next year. I am so done with COVID. It's not that powerful anymore. It's not that scary. We have a vaccine. We have treatments. Let's move on. Let people play with COVID. It's just like the flu. Keep them playing.
Yeah, politics are. That's different.
There's a COVID list in the NFL, and it makes me mad.
Anyways,
We lost the game because of COVID.
Mike Williams scored a 53-yard touchdown because. Moving on.
Trey Norwood.
Yeah, true.
Trey Norwood.
Next week,
And COVID. I hate COVID. I'm so done.
you know what else I hate?
COVID.
The Bengals. Because
I'm so glad.
So-
I am so glad I didn't watch
this game was cool because this was on my birthday and you,
I wasn't here for it.
you weren't here, so I got stuck.
Hey, I was stuck watching the Lions game by myself.
It's true. It evens out.
Oh yeah,
This was.
watching that Lions game.
I don't know if this was the most frustrating, but this was just the worst. This was the worst
How do
game
You lose you lose by 31.
of the year.
But I think the wild card game was also war.
No, like this was. They couldn't do nothing would go their way.
I mean, just listening on the radio here, Mike picked off by Mike Hilton for a pick six.
Oh, I got so mad.
It's just I
I
hate
got
Mike
so
Hilton.
mad.
He's a little weasel. That's what he is. He's a little weasel dude running.
Joe Burrow touchdown rush to start the game. Chris Boswell had a field goal.
I remember the Steelers just not being able to stop him. I just been listening. Joe Mixon was running all over them.
T. Higgins
Joe
had a
Burrow was running.
touchdown. Joe Mixon. I mean, yeah, second quarter, Bengals scored 3 touchdowns. We didn't score any.
Well, because they had 2 picks in the second quarter.
T. Higgins touchdown.
And
Mixon,
then Minka finally got his pick that game. Waiting all year for that.
uh,
Good thing he came back for that game.
Pat had a touchdown with 3 minutes left.
Oh yeah, I did watch that. You know why? Because I was going to pick up my car from the airport. Oh, that was bad.
That was just. There's not much to say about this game. That was terrible.
Oh, you didn't tell me the great moment during the Chargers game when you just
Oh.
started screaming.
Yeah, during the Chargers game, I was at a loss for words,
It's just because we started winning.
and I just like I wasn't. Yeah, the reason I got mad is because they were giving me hope.
You gave like when it was 27-10.
Yeah.
You gave up. You were done.
I was just on the couch. I'm like, nope.
I was still like kind of standing, kind of getting into it, but when it was 27-10, I was also kind of sitting down.
Yeah.
Like I said, if they don't score here, I'm done.
Yeah.
And they just kick a field goal. I'm like, God damn it, I'm back in it.
Shit. I just remember I'm sitting there and you're looking. I'm just like about to like the blueberry kid from Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
I'm about to burst. I just get up like.
Because they just blocked the punt, and you go, that's it. Ah, I hate this.
That's it.
That's it.
It's so frustrating.
I mean, just watching that was
I'm like,
so
at
frustrating.
the end of the day, I'm like, fate has it. We're not gonna win, but I can.
But we started
But I
winning.
can think we're gonna win.
37-34. He's like, oh, we might have this wrapped up after Cam Hayward punched the guy in the stomach.
And yeah, Cam Hayward just implants Herbert into the ground.
Small punch,
Yeah, nothing big.
but he fell down. He fell down. He fell.
It's okay.
He fell.
But even after we let Mike Williams score the touchdown, there's still plenty of time left to go down and score.
Yeah.
What do we do instead?
Die.
Like
Wanna die.
3rd and 19 on our own 5-yard line.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything. Thanks, Matt Canada.
Not the O-line, right?
Both of them.
When there's 2 minutes left. We had 2 minutes left in the game to score.
Well, there was over 2 minutes left.
Ben could have made one of his magical drives,
Could have.
but then Dan Moore and I believe Joe Haig,
Yes, it was Joe.
It was Joe Haden.
It was Joe Haden.
they let the guy run through him, 2nd and 17. Then Kendrick Green and Trey Turner decide not to block somebody, 3rd and 24. And then Dan Moore again decides not to block Joey Bosa, and now it's 4th and 31. And it makes me wonder. Sometimes I wonder what happened to Mike Munchak. They didn't hire him!
No.
They hired a guy from Carolina who's used it as a scapegoat. Granted, 20 years of NFL experience is really good, but you could have got Mike Munchak. Mike Munchak probably wanted $5 million of a contract. You're not going to pay a guy that much
No.
money to be a low-line coach.
Is he going anywhere else though? I don't know.
I think he might be retiring. So
Yeah, I don't know if he's coaching this year.
Probably not.
So
He probably won't be coaching anymore.
Yeah.
Big family man, he is. That's why he left. But I digress, and we move to the Ravens game.
So, this is an interesting one because this is one where we had our freak accident, I think.
Yeah, that was that game.
So
And then it was also the drop catch. They went for 2.
Yeah.
And we have the infamous video that will be posting on our TikTok.
there is some great footage from this.
I will be posting on the TikTok a couple of great videos from
Yep.
this game alone.
Over the years, we've had many great videos.
Oh, I think I had to post those too as well. Just the ones that
Throwback Thursday.
just the ones that don't make me look like a complete utter idiot.
Those are the best ones.
I'm not posting that
I'll
online.
post them. Then those are the best.
You don't
ones.
have access to the
I
TikTok.
got the Twitter.
Oh god dang! Dang it! I don't want like the ones where I act like a buffoon when I'm 14 years old, jumping all around. The Dallas Cowboys game. Yeah! Touchdown! Yeah, like you can't even, like I didn't even realize you couldn't even see the television for half the game
No.
because I was just covering it with my head.
Those are the best stuff.
Those
But,
are the best games.
So Ravens, classic Steelers Ravens game
Oh
here.
god, it hurted my soul, but it was a great
But
one.
it's
It's a great defensive game. and
It's
maybe
so
it hurt
much
my soul.
fun. It really is fun.
Oh yeah, when you're having an aneurysm, it's fun. Or when the refs are just horrible.
It's Ravens week is different.
When the refs are horrible, yeah. It's
Well,
different.
yeah, the refs were pretty bad.
Oh, it's different when the game's horrible.
They were pretty bad.
Pretty bad. That's an understatement.
So Ravens get out 10-3 start at halftime.
Yeah.
It's 13-3 after the third quarter. Steelers had 3 points in the first 3 quarters. Fourth quarter team though.
Was it 14-3? Or yeah, it was 14. No,
It was
14-3.
actually it was only 10-3.
Going into the third quarter, how did they score 19?
Going
points?
into the third quarter,
In the fourth quarter.
10-3.
Really?
Yes.
How did we get our points?
So early.
Actually, I know how we got points. How did they get their points?
So early in the fourth, Deontay had a touchdown. That was the nice pass from Ben.
Oh yeah, like the only
Like the
bootleg,
third- the 30-yard.
bootleg play he did.
Yes, the bootleg. That's
The
what it was.
only bootleg play he would do. He only did like 3 bootlegs in the season. 3 of them worked.
It's a great play.
Maybe I should do it more.
Unfortunately, Chris Bothell missed the extra point.
That's why it wasn't tied.
So it was 10-9. Ravens were still winning. Tucker kicks the field goal.
Of course he does.
Boz comes back. He gets a field goal. It's 13-12. Then Deontay gets another touchdown.
And then caught by Fryermuth for 2 points.
And they get the 2. So it's 2013.
Yeah.
Usually the Steelers are pretty good in these last drive situations.
Yeah, 'cause
from
usually-
not letting them
Usually
score
Cam
touchdowns.
or TJ does something.
Yes.
Steelers fashion, remember Steelers Football 101, my class that I teach.
Yeah.
There's always a dropped interception on those drives.
Yep.
And once there was 2 dropped interceptions that drive where the Ravens had a chance. Every game I remember, there's 2 minutes left and the Steelers are up by 7 or up by 6. There's always a dropped interception, and I never know why. They can never just sell the game out. But it's fine. And, I mean, actually, you know, it really wasn't fine because he scored a touchdown.
In the moment, it was not fine.
Because he scored a touchdown.
They scored a touchdown with 12 seconds
But
left.
then John Harbaugh being John Harbaugh playing the statistics.
You have the best kicker ever, probably.
No, you want to win the game.
But he wants to win the game.
Do you know what? Fourth quarter. Who were the Ravens corners left in that game?
Wasn't Marlon Humphrey.
There were no starting corners left of the Ravens that
Yeah.
game. They had 5th string and 6th string corners playing.
Yeah, that's right.
So they knew that Ben was just gonna dink and dunk on them and win the game.
He's going to light him up. Yep.
So they have to go for 2, and I understand the call.
Mhm.
But John Harbaugh chose probably the worst play to do.
I respect the call, but when you have Lamar Jackson as your quarterback against Pittsburgh,
No, it's just TJ Watt being TJ Watt.
T.J. Watt
He's from another planet.
he owns Lamar Jackson.
He owns the.
He owns everyone, really. But
Except, well, he did beat up Joe Burrow in that game when they lost 41-10.
yes, angry T.J. That's a scary T.J.
It's frustrating, TJ.
Yeah.
He couldn't do
Well,
anything.
we're all frustrated. But Lamar
I think
Jackson
in that moment I would punch somebody too.
pass failed, overthrows Mark Andrews from the 2-yard line.
And your brother cracks his head on the seat.
And the best moment of that game was my brother Dave, who watches games with us now. We've never had injuries that bad
Oh no.
ever. This kid,
Well, I did run through a wall.
you weren't hurt like that, though. You,
I mean, my whole arm was just
yeah,
scraped up.
Did you go to the ER?
Why would I have to go to the ER?
Exactly. Dave goes to the ER because
Even if I was gushing blood, I wouldn't go to the ER.
I mean,
Built different.
yeah, he cracks his head on the ceiling. Was very proud of himself, as he should be.
I mean, I would be.
I would be
Battle
too.
scar. I was proud of that hole in the wall I made.
Absolutely. Yeah, he missed about a week or 2 of basketball, but it's okay.
But the dedication of him recording, he did get the end of the game. He recorded us with his head.
He did. He came
He had a
back.
towel on his head and he recorded us
He
at the end of the
came
game.
back downstairs to film.
I mean, that's dedication if I
That
haven't
is
seen it.
respect. And he wore his jersey to the ER, and the lady was like,
I think he was
Steelers game? Yeah. Wore it to sleep. He slept in his Minka jersey. And yeah, then he went to school with it the next day too.
I mean, he was really proud of that. He had
Oh,
it.
he was very happy.
What does his girlfriend think about that?
No, probably a little embarrassed, but she doesn't get it. She just doesn't get it.
I mean, most women don't.
Yeah,
Most women don't understand the dedication of Steelers fans.
that's right. Most people in general, they don't get it.
Yeah.
But then unfortunately after that, it's another pretty frustrating game.
The Vikings.
Very similar to the Chargers game.
I mean, they were never winning this game.
No.
They were down 29-0.
So this was another Sunday, or this was Thursday night.
Thursday night
This was
football.
Thursday night, yeah.
And
Chargers was Sunday night.
We had to listen to good old Troy and Joe.
So this one, it was 29-0. It's 29. So actually, this might be
We
one.
gave up.
This
No, we did give up.
This one, we really did give up.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't think I've ever laid on a couch during a Steelers game in my life. This was that game.
6 minutes left in the third. It's 29-0. So, classic Steelers fashion.
Classic Ben Roethlisberger.
End of the third quarter, Najee Harris finally were on the board, gets a touchdown.
Receiving touchdown, yeah.
First or second play of the fourth quarter, he gets a rushing touchdown,
Yeah.
1 yard rush.
29-14, just like that.
2 minutes later, James Washington, 30-yard pass.
Probably one of the greatest catches I've seen him make this year.
Great catch.
29-21.
Missed a 2-point conversion.
Did we?
So it's 29-20.
Why did we go for 2? Oh yeah, because it would have been 29-22.
Right.
I remember screaming for them to go for 2 if I remember that.
And then a minute and a half later,
Mike can score.
62-yard touchdown to fucking KJ Osborne.
thought we weren't allowed to swear on this.
Well, pretty bad. Looking back on this.
KJ Osborne of anybody. If it was Justin Jefferson, fine.
Not fine, but better. Like,
KJ Osborne.
more understandable.
Yeah.
No, it's their third string receiver.
Yeah.
So it's 36-20. Now it's kind of out of reach again.
It's really not if you're the Steelers.
But classic Steelers football, we do score again. Pat Fryermuth, and we get the 2 this time.
That was a bullet by Ben.
Great pass.
It was like the only throw that he threw like over 10 miles per hour this
Oh,
year.
it was a missile. So it's 36-28. Still a 1-score game. Driving down the field on the last drive of the game. Chase Claypool gets first down and catch. What does he decide to do? Decides to celebrate just a little bit, and it just takes only
little bit.
just a couple
He
seconds
decided to
off the
celebrate a
clock.
little bit? No, it's not a little bit.
No, it's not a little.
But what no one saw, that I saw the next day, the Vikings player hit the ball out of Chase Claypool's
I do
hand.
remember you sending me that. Yeah.
I sent you that video. Trey Turner didn't hit the ball out of his hand.
No.
Chase Claypool didn't drop the ball.
Yeah.
The Vikings linebacker, Michael Kendricks, hit the ball out of his hand, which should have been a 15-yard penalty
Yeah.
for unsportsmanlike conduct, automatic first down, and the clock should have stopped. None of those 3 happened.
That's a game changer.
Deontay almost didn't get out of bounds on that last play, too.
Yeah, I know.
He was running around, and I'm like, oh.
It was like 2 seconds
And you really
left.
think this game's over, and it's just like, no. Deontay somehow got out of bounds. And then
We have
you're
one
like,
more play.
and you're like, damn, this might actually happen. You see the ball, one of the only times they throw over the middle of the field. Of course, it's
Yeah.
quadruple coverage, so it's like, damn. Fryer passed the ball.
But he fits it in there.
He got it right in there. Fryer did not bring it towards him. Harrison Smith punched out. That game's over. Steelers lose, and I think this is when I start believing this season is basically over.
We're 6-1.
Yeah.
Not looking good.
I said if they don't beat the Titans next week, this season's over. And somehow they did beat them.
So yeah, we got the Titans next week. Granted, without Derrick Henry, which I cannot imagine what that would have been like against that run defense. Probably 300 yards. Because we'll have 200 to the Lions.
Well, if you remember, the Titans running backs got 190.
That's true. Deontay Foreman and
What were the other guys?
Hillard still had a good game.
Do you know how many rushing yards Najee had that game?
The Titans game.
Yeah,
Let's see.
18.
18.
You know
That's
pass-
right.
You know how many pass yards Ben had?
148.
And Deontay had
No touchdowns.
Deontay was the leading receiver with 38 yards. Did you wait? Raymond McLeod was our leading receiver against the Browns.
The first game.
That was second game.
Yeah.
I just saw that. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, but this Titans game, it's the Chris Boswell show for the most part. Titans were up 10-0. So it's kind of looking like it's going to be another one of those. Oh, we're going to get blown out, then we're going to come back. No, it was only 10-0.
Only 10.
Going into half, it was 13-3. Ben Roethlisberger rushing touchdown this game.
Oh, yeah, the
A 1-yard rush.
QB sneak, yeah.
What a beast. We actually made the kick this time, so it's 13-10.
Oh, look at that.
And he makes 3 straight field goals.
Somehow he won. Like those games, this game and the next game, it's just like they were good. Like Titans was a really good win. They stopped them on the 1-yard line. Refs were horrible that game.
TJ got held by 2 guys, still had the sack.
The refs.
That was nuts.
I kind of just want to for the next game. I just kind of want to skip over. There's no point in me talking about the Chiefs twice, especially 2 blowout losses. We'll skip that. We lost 36-10.
Yeah, that was
Horrible game.
about as ugly as you can get again. So
But we're gonna move to the
Merry
Browns.
Christmas, that was.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna move to
Uh,
the Browns game.
Browns game Monday night.
Monday night, Ben's last home game.
Ben's last home game.
Emotional night.
Who else would it be against besides his sons?
His son Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
And everybody else on that team.
I mean,
He didn't play great.
it wasn't terrible. I mean, it wasn't great.
The only reasons, Najee had 188 yards.
Najee was great this game.
O-line played fine.
They're one of the better games.
Dan Moore held his son to 0 sacks.
Dan Moore does own Myles Garrett. We did score first this game, late in the second quarter. Ben Deontay.
Yeah,
Little
I
slant
had to
there.
come over late to this game, but I think we did see that.
Yep. Boswell hits a couple field goals. It's 13-10.
Najee completely owned them that game.
Yeah. I mean, this game really wasn't like that close. Like
It got close at the end, and then Najee just punched.
it was close, but like there was just no way we're.
I think the funniest story of that night was when Mason Rudolph thought he was going to go take the knee at the end.
Yeah,
of the game.
like you're gonna get. To see
It's
the
like, buddy,
field.
go sit back down. You're not going to be the quarterback next
Never.
year.
No, but there was just no way they were ever gonna lose this game. Like
No.
it just wasn't gonna happen.
I think the spread went up like 2 points because of that.
Yeah. It was beautiful. Najee gets the last touchdown.
It was like a movie scene at the end of the like
Was.
it was like a
It really was.
It's like you were watching a movie, like you thought that would be the last episode of like the season or like the movie, but then you have a game right after that, and then
Yeah.
like it's a game to go to the playoffs.
You got,
But no one thought the Steelers were going to go to the playoffs.
No.
Like,
so we were happy to win that game. Best play in football. Ben gets to take that last knee.
After we lost to the Chiefs, I had no hope. I literally had no hope for making the playoffs. 'Cause,
No.
like there's like a 2% chance that the Steelers making the playoffs after that.
Yeah.
Because they,
I was just at
because
that
they needed
point.
the Colts to lose twice.
Yeah.
And
And we needed to beat the Ravens.
and the Colts are on fire.
And they're playing the Jags. Like, no way.
Well, they're playing the Raiders and the Jags.
Yeah.
Because we need the Colts to lose both games. And I'm like, well, that's not going to happen, so we're screwed.
Now the Raiders. That was a toss up, I guess. But
Colts and Raiders, yeah.
we just wanted to win this game. Really, this game was probably, besides like playoff losses or something, like the only time I've ever cried.
I don't remember crying that game. I remember just being depressed.
It was.
It was a great scene seeing him and his family walk out of the stadium
Take the victory lap.
after all the adversity that Ben has had throughout his career.
It's like the only time they sold out this year. Fans showed up for this one.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
We would have been there, you know.
I wanted to go, but I didn't live in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Only
But
went to the University of Pittsburgh.
But it was good
Yeah,
to see.
me.
Yeah. So that takes us to last week of the regular season in Baltimore.
The Baltimore game was like second. Like the second, like my first priority was that Colts and Jags game.
It really was.
My second priority was the Steelers Ravens game, and then the Steelers started losing this game. I'm like, hold on a minute, we're not even in the playoffs yet.
Exactly, because like if the Colts win that game, then this doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Like I'd still like Ben to get a win
Yeah,
if this
one
is
last
his
win,
last
last
game, but like, yeah, like I just remember seeing the Jags score first. I'm like, just don't. It was
Just don't
7-0.
blow it.
It was 7-0. I'm like, I know it's
And
only
then we saw
7-0.
the Jags blowing them out, and then we're like, and then I think when we saw them like win in the third quarter, we had like this flip switch, and we're like, we're actually losing the game we have to win
Yeah.
right now to make the playoffs.
Like,
but
at
the
that-
Jags are actually
yeah.
winning.
At that point, I was pretty confident about the Jags. Like, okay,
Well, they were winning by like
Yeah.
21.
There was
I wasn't worried.
so.
Carson Wentz played horrible that game.
Thank God.
Yeah. Be the next Steelers quarterback though. Would I want that? Probably not.
Could be, but
Hey, Deshaun Watson, get those legal case figures out. Coming down to Pittsburgh.
they got these. Sean Watson's a mess. But
22 cases. None of them are criminal though. Not one is criminal.
technically not. Yeah.
They're all civil cases that could get resolved by money.
Got a lot of money.
Oh, when you're getting paid $50 million, but the taxes to do nothing,
Right.
You get a lot of money.
That's right.
I wonder if he's in good shape still. Do you think he's still in good shape, like good shape physically to play football?
Yeah, you can get him a good.
I don't think I've seen one video of him training.
It's all right. Yeah. So back to this Ravens game. We
I don't know why someone just called me.
we're receiving an incoming call from Bengals fan. This was another classic Steelers Ravens game. Really, like
Yeah, it was.
it really was.
I mean,
Like
it was bad. I mean, like it was just a bad game.
Ravens were winning up until 3 minutes left. Chase gets only his second touchdown of the year. Great timing though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just so worried about Boswell missing that kick, but I'm like, it's crunch time. He doesn't miss kicks at crunch time. He's gonna make a kick.
Oh.
But then the Ravens.
He did miss a kicks in crunch time. Steelers Raiders in Oakland.
Yeah.
Slipped and fell.
Yeah. Well, I blame that on the field.
That feels horrible.
The groundskeepers there suck. Anyways, yeah, Ravens come down, tie with field goal. So we're going to overtime. Playoffs on the line.
Playoffs on the line. We have nothing. We have nothing to show for at this point. We have no offense.
It's really a miracle.
It's like, do we even want to be in the playoffs at this point?
At one point, I was like, yeah, I mean, when I saw that the Jags were beating the Colts, I'm like, yeah, I want to be there. But, I don't know. Like,
Next Sunday night game's a joke too. No game should ever end in a tie.
right.
And the fact that Justin Herbert, the fact that a competitor and an NFL player once said, "I have never won a tie so much in my life,"
Yeah.
that shouldn't be a thing.
That's sad.
There shouldn't be a
How
tie.
sad
You
is that?
shouldn't be so many of these former NFL players going to ESPN and NFL Network being like, "Why are you saying that? Like, shouldn't you just want to win?"
Like, it's your division rival. Don't you want to knock them out of
It's not
the
even
season?
that. It's just like if I would never want me as that played sports.
Yeah.
I would never let a team tie me.
I play to win.
I have never played to lose. I
Like-
played to tie.
Is it kind of risky? Yeah, but
I-
just go win the game.
I
Like,
love Rick Bisaccia to the end of this day now.
Yes,
What is he on the Jags now?
No.
Special teams coordinator.
I think the Packers.
Nice.
Yeah, I was happy he just got a job.
I mean, he should not be. He should be a head coach.
He should be a head coach. I like he's writing letters to all his players after the last playoff.
You know who else should be a head coach? Danny Smith.
Danny Smith.
I love my bubblegum man.
He loves his double bubble.
Somehow Brian Flores is not a head coaching. He's a linebackers coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, we'll get promoted.
Will he?
Yeah.
Would that mean that it's a promotion from within then, and that all Steelers fans are gonna go crazy because
Yep.
it's a promotion from
I think
within?
that's exactly what's going to happen.
Because Terrell Austin was an outside hire who got promoted within. Are we gonna complain that we're promoted from within when Brian Flores becomes our next defensive coordinator?
People will.
I mean, he's not gonna be. Let's be honest here. He's not gonna be on the Steelers after this year.
You don't think so?
He's gonna be a head coach somewhere.
I mean, he should be.
I'm pretty sure 30. I believe that 30 NFL franchises are afraid to hire Brian Flores because of the lawsuits. And there's only 2 franchises that would probably hire Brian Flores for what he was: the Steelers and the Ravens.
Did
I
the
think that-
Ravens hired a new DC yet?
Mm-mm.
No.
Oh, yeah, they might have. But I don't think the Ravens would be afraid to hire
No,
a Brian Flores.
they would not be. They have the same mindset.
No.
But
And if John Harbaugh wasn't a good coach, I'm pretty sure that the Ravens would have a black head coach by now too.
Yeah.
It's just
They-
there are some blatantly. I'm not gonna say blatantly racist NFL organizations, but there are some blatantly racist NFL organizations like the Cowboys.
Cowboys, Jerry Jones.
I'm not gonna say the Texans are racist, but they hired a black guy just to hire a black guy, and they fired him after a year.
Yeah.
And now they have Lovie Smith, which I also believe is they might have just hired him because he's a black guy. I firmly believe that they might have just done it because of the backlash they might get from the Rooney Rule. The Dolphins are seeing that they might get backlash from the Rooney Rule. There's a bunch of organizations right now that might get backlash. Like the Panthers should probably have. Someone should have hired Eric Bieniemy.
I know that's crazy that he doesn't have a head coaching job.
But he also did. He had a lot of crimes when he was a young player.
Yeah, well, that's long in the past, I guess. But we'll wrap up the regular season here. Yeah, Ray McLeod on 4th and 8. Not the best throw by Ben, but good enough where he can make the catch. We get the first down. Boswell kicks the field goal. We're going to the playoffs, which that's right.
Yeah,
Well, it wasn't official.
we watched that game. It was so
So-
much anxiety.
We're sitting around for
Couldn't find Madden.
4 hours.
Tried to find Madden 10.
Tried
Couldn't
to find Madden 10 to make the time go by.
Couldn't find Madden.
Couldn't
10.
find it, but whatever. At that point, it was almost game time.
I digress.
So, all we need, the last part of the
We were
equation,
chilling for most of the game.
we just need this game not to end in a tie.
And we were chilling for most of the game.
Most of the game,
Raiders were winning by 14. We felt good
we didn't care who got in. We just wanted whoever was winning
to win.
to just win.
So we rooted for the Chargers for a little bit. We rooted for the Raiders for a little bit. We
Yeah.
rolled off and on.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if the Chargers won that game, they probably would have beat the Bengals.
Did they beat them in the regular? They did, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
In Cincy.
I think the
What about a
Bengals.
good
I
game?
think the Bengals had the easier playoff schedule, in my opinion.
Playing the Raiders, yeah.
Playing the Raiders and then played the Titans, who the Titans weren't that good.
Titans. Even on Derrick Henry, he was back, but he wasn't.
He had a nail in his foot. He wasn't going to be
Yeah,
good.
he wasn't himself.
And then we go to the Steelers playoff game. Like, it's a bad game.
I mean, to start, it was. We were winning. We had the lead at first.
20 minutes went by of the game.
It took a while.
First quarter and second quarter, Steelers somehow scored.
TJ Watt touchdown.
It would be the only happiness we had that game.
Yeah.
Then the Steelers got 30. It was like 35-7. We scored touchdowns 35-14. And I thought to oh no, it's 28-14. I thought, are we coming back or is this just like a fluke? And it was a fluke.
I mean, we didn't go in there expecting to win that game.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't.
You knew deep down you thought the Steelers were going to win. Deep down, my bias. Deep down, I thought that the Steelers are going to pull this out.
Bias, sure, but like they beat us 36-10. Like
I literally thought going out like, the Steelers are going to win this. I don't know why. I just had that feeling like Steelers going to win this. And I'm pretty sure if we had, the Steelers defense stopped them 10 drives in like the first quarter.
In the first
quarter and a half, they stopped them 10 drives.
it was 7-0,
And then it fell apart because the offense we couldn't give them enough time. We couldn't give the defense enough time to rest.
Kelsey had the big touchdown at the end of the half, which really hurt us. They scored 5 touchdowns in a row. It was 35-7. Deontay comes back and scores. They score right after that. Byron Pringle, 2 touchdowns again this game. Guy had 2 touchdowns in each game against the Steelers. That was frustrating.
Yeah.
James Washington scores. I hate that Ben's last touchdown pass was to James Washington.
But
I don't know who else it would be, though.
That's
But
basically the season, though.
season ends with a loss to Kansas City.
Season either ends with a loss or ends with a Super Bowl win. That's usually how it goes when you make the playoffs.
Well, those are the only options, really.
So, yeah. So overall, how would you rate this Steelers season?
Honestly, I would say it was about on par with what I expected.
Really?
Going into it,
It exceeded my expectations.
it was close. I figured that we would be a playoff team.
Hardest schedule of the NFL.
It was a very hard schedule.
Hardest schedule in the entire NFL, but there is a 7th seed now. So,
That 7th seed really helped us at the end of the day.
7th seed should be abolished, in my opinion.
I agreed.
I hate the 7th seed. I hate the 17th game. I hate the 7th seed.
I liked it the 1 year, but if it's going to be a regular thing, like for COVID, like just for a COVID year, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But as a regular thing, I don't know. I mean, yes, it helped us this year. It helped us get into the playoffs, but
7th seed's never competitive.
like it's just having an odd number of teams like that. It's just
Like,
weird.
and then you could use the argument like, oh, there's been 6 seed teams to go to the Super Bowl. That 6th seed team of the Steelers was 12-4.
11-5.
11-5.
But
That's a good team.
that's a good team.
When you're 11-5, you're usually a division champ.
Yeah.
So when you're 11-5, you're the 6th seed. It's like, oh damn, they're actually a pretty good team still.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we didn't win the division that year, but we did beat the division winners in the playoffs.
And they broke his leg in the process.
Yeah.
Good for them.
It was an accident,
No, it wasn't.
not a dirty hit.
I wouldn't care either way.
We won the
I
game.
hate
So.
Carson Palmer.
So that's really a wrap on the 21-22 season.
Definitely some players that exceeded my expectations.
Season
Season exceeded my expectations. Mason Rudolph was below par,
as expected.
as expected. Just the one game he played, I just don't like Mason Rudolph.
We hate Mason Rudolph.
But he is QB1 technically right now on the Steelers depth chart, which I
Technically,
hate.
yes.
Until Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, Deshaun Watson.
Someone, anyone that's not Mason Rudolph.
Maybe Marcus Mariota.
Maybe.
Trubisky.
TJ Watt finally got his deep.
Maybe TJ Watt can play quarterback.
TJ Watt can do anything, really. He's the best player on the planet.
I'd be totally fine with TJ Watt playing quarterback over Mason Rudolph. I think it would be more fun.
Give him a shot. Tied the sack record this year. Should have broken it. Whatever, though. It was awesome.
Oh, well, no, he should have broken
He should have broken it.
I mean, that's a sack. I don't know what.
I know.
I don't know what else you would call that besides it's a sack.
But, I mean, he
I would give this entire season probably A-.
really.
just because it's Ben's. Just seeing
Yeah.
Ben's last games. I think it was worth seeing Ben's last games and Ben make the playoff one more time
It was cool.
than other than anything.
Yeah. It was cool to be there for a game.
If it wasn't, if there was no emotional attachment to this season with Ben, I would call this season like a B minus.
Yeah.
But because of Ben, I give an A minus.
It wasn't official, but we just knew that.
The season sucked.
It was the season was a roller coaster.
They sucked. They stunk.
It was not pretty.
The Steelers stunk. People are still calling for Mike Tomlin's head. I think this is one of the best coaching jobs he's done.
It might
Horrible
be.
O line, old quarterback playing, average receivers at best.
Like, this and 2 years ago. are
Steelers
probably-
secondary horrible.
Yeah. This is arguably his best.
Bad linebackers.
Like,
Depleted D line.
what did he have to work with?
T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward,
That's
Minka Fitzpatrick.
Not much.
Joe Hayden didn't even play most of the season.
Yeah, he was hurt. COVID. Bunch of groin injuries this year too. That's something I'll remember.
Yeah, 12 groin
A
injuries.
lot of groin
12
injuries.
groin injuries.
You think he can just stretch a little
You
bit.
would think
every
there'd be
now
a
and then.
problem, but the strength and conditioning coach is like, nah, you guys are good. Maybe do some Pilates next time.
Not a big deal. You'll just miss one game.
You know, Lynn Swan did ballet. Remember, everyone should do that.
People make fun of NFL players for doing ballet. It works.
They don't get groin injuries.
They don't get hurt. So, yeah.
There's only a few. I think there's only a few bright spots going next season.
Uh,
I think Brian Flores,
I
Terrell
agree.
Austin, Terrell Austin, and Mike Tomlin are the only bright spots I see.
Yep.
Besides Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, and Minka. Cam Sutton's gonna be a second year outside. If they draft, there's a good free agency pool here.
There's a great free agency pool.
The Steelers can save a lot of money by Stephon Tuitt retiring.
Yep.
Since he didn't play at all last year.
Getting
Cutting Joe
Joe
Schobert,
Schobert. Yep.
or restructuring.
Yep.
And then restructuring TJ's
TJ and Cam.
I'm like, when you restructure a deal though, you're just kicking the can down the line.
He just has.
But when you don't have a star quarterback, you don't have to worry about cap space as much because they're
That's
under a rookie contract.
right. That's right.
So you're saving $50 million by not having a star quarterback.
Yeah.
Maybe Lamar Jackson might come to Pittsburgh. I would love it.
It's not Mason Rudolph. That's all we ask.
If Lamar Jackson can't get a deal done with the Ravens, send him over to Pittsburgh, man. I'll take him in a heartbeat.
We'll turn him into something.
He's a good passer. We make fun of him because he can't throw. He can throw. He was an MVP. He was an MVP.
I will still stand by him. I think he sucks.
Because you hate him.
I do hate him. He's a good runner.
Malik Willis might be a better passer than he is, though.
Yeah.
Did you see that the Steelers might trade up for Sam Howell, according to ESPN?
That's terrible.
He's horrible.
Terrible.
Sam Howell's horrible.
Are they going to do that? No.
God, I hope not.
I have faith in them that they will not do that.
But this is a conversation for a different day.
Yeah. So
So now we're losing all of our content.
this episode, first one, wanted to recap the season.
Brought to you by the UB Turf Benders,
Brought
flag
to you
football
by
champions,
our flag football team kicking off in the spring.
March
here.
29th.
March 29th, yes. Well, episodes will be coming out on a weekly thing. We'll have plenty of content to talk about for you guys.
We'll have
And,
plenty of stuff on our socials.
we got a lot
I have a lot of stuff to post on TikTok.
to discuss with this team. So,
Oh, yeah.
thanks for listening. We will catch you next Sunday.